Hello everyone, this is Kiran Irvanti from reWireByAutomation channel. Uh, Today I'm going to discuss on the one topic which is related to the mobile web and app accessibility evaluation, which comes under one of my objectives: tools, solutions, and technologies. Okay, moving ahead. uh, Whoever is not subscribed or seeing my video first time, I'm going to give our view on my channel objectives and my blog and my YouTube channel, so that you can get an idea. Okay, this is my channel objectives at reWireByAutomation, which was started 4 months, about 5 months back. The first objectives is tool solutions and technologies, and which I cover, based on my experience, and I will conduct a kind of, short or course from my end, and then I'm going to publish on the latest technology side and its advancements on the, existing the tools and technologies. And next is, based on my experience, so far I have presented a few, stories, and I'm continuing to do that one. This is purely out of my experience, my industry experience of 2 decades plus. And the third objective is it's about management and strategies. Uh, uh, to deal with the bigger enterprise projects and other solutions to implement in the project execution side. So that is basically out of my thoughts, and based on my experience, I will present the short stories. And the fourth one is, which is last one, the trends. I know we have a lot many advancements happening on the ground, and it is a continuous journey. So what is the relevant? I'll take those and I'll exercise, and then only I'm going to present those uh, stories. That's about my the channel objectives, and I'll quickly walk through the blog and the channel that I have, and you can get an idea. So if you go to the reWireByAutomation.medium.com, you will see the stories that I have published so far. And in the 2 weeks back, I have published AI Assistant by Postman, and which talks about the the basics on the AI Assistant and how we can leverage the postbot in our day-to-day AI automation site. And prior to that one, 3 stories I have the published about the accessibility. So which is this story has given the a glimpse, and following story is the WCAG guidelines, and then web approach methods. And today I'm going to give our view on mobile web. And prior to that one, I have given the latest stories, and prior to that one, I have given advancements on the Selenium manager side. And I have covered the few the stories about the empowering the workforce, that is. And these are the stories that talks about on the appium server side. And this is the appium server setup, and this is the second story about the automation soft skills. So if you have time, you can go through these stories, and you'll get to know uh, my experience and my thoughts on the industry, QA automation side, and the overall industry side. Okay, that's about the my blog. And of course, you will see more in the coming quarters and months. on the relevant topics so that it is useful to the all the journals of the um, workforce. So whether it be a fresher or who wanted to move from functional to the automation side, and we want to take the leverage of the the current the trends, how we can adapt in our day-to-day the activities. Okay, just keep watch, and you'll find out key updates. The next one is the channel, same, I have linked each the story to the session. So this one, at reWireByAutomation, you can give www.youtube.com/@reWireByAutomation. You will be land on my YouTube channel, and you have all the sessions. Each session is tied up with the stories, so that you can easily navigate to the voice over session. Okay. So out of this one, I'm going to publish the playlist as well. So the stories that I'm publishing, it will have a sequence. Okay. So just to find out the prerequisite, and you will come to know the starting point and the ending point. Okay. So this is the journey that I have started 6 months back, and it will continue based on my available free time, and I'm going to publish a valid content. Okay, and whatever the content that I have, the prepared based out of my the skills, and it's not any kind of AI generated content. It is purely based on my thoughts, my experience, and my analysis. I presented and I pictured over here. Okay, so without further delay, let's move ahead with today's topic, that is about mobile web and app accessibility. So far we have seen about the approaches, methods, and the guidelines on the web application side, which are purely based on the desktop environment. But today the session that I'm going to cover on mobile web and app accessibility. The guidelines are everything is more or less similar to the web and app. The tools that I'm going to discuss on similar to the app and web. Okay, so more or less this is on the mobile platform side. Okay. So let's decode the current topic today. So program preview, and I have given you a few weeks back about the program preview. What was my plan, and what are the sessions that I'm going to publish. So I'm just give you a quick recap on that one. So these are the four, the five genres that I have presented in the by my first session. So, and these are the fundamentals that everyone should know. You have a number of sources are available, and you can get to know. So I have presented on WCAG guidelines for accessibility. This is a must and should. We should know at a high level, so that it will be useful. Whatever we are working on specific application. And then I have given the approach and methods specific to the website. Okay, so which integral part of this tools, and even integrated automation scope also I have included over here. So because I may not be in a position to present these the tools, because they're all commercial tools, but I have given overview. So I covered the three topics, which is totally on the evaluation side. The second one is WCAG guidelines, and third one is the approach and methods, which includes the evaluation tools and overview on the automation as well. Okay, so the topic today I'm going to the cover on the mobile side. Okay, so let's move ahead. So these are the stories that I have presented over here in the previously. I have given the WCAG and the claims accessibility evaluation side, and the stories and sessions that I have given. So these are the three things that I have published. Okay. So now let's move ahead with the current topic. The approach. What is the approach that I have the implemented for this session? So this is the quick program on the mobile web and apps accessibility site. And if you see, I have started with approach at enterprise. So this is a just quick overview. And so of course for your role, you may not be, you're not part of this stage, but this is at enterprise level, at senior management level, how they can the strategize at enterprise level. And this from here, this stage onwards, you should have an idea what are the WCAG guidelines specific to the mobile site, and what are the mobile platforms that we are going to experience. What is the the approach overall project execution side? What are the methods that we are experience in the apps accessibility testing site? And I'm going to cover the mobile cloud, the platforms, because every enterprise customer, depending on the mobile cloud platforms. So it may not be, it is not open source. It's a kind of commercial solutions. Every enterprise customer, will have this one if you're assigned to any of the corporate assignments. Okay. So that's about my program on mobile apps and web accessible. Let's move ahead. So enterprise, I'm going to give a quick overview so that you can connect from where I'm starting and where I'm going to end. Okay. So for any thing, for any new things or any specific thing, for example, accessibility or security or performance or some other thing. So every organization or enterprise organization should have their own objectives and business. So based on that one, they will have to strategize their objectives, and accordingly, if any guidelines or any standards they have to define, and those standards have to be in line with your methodology, because based on, you have different products at enterprise level. It's not only one application, right? In your day-to-day, in your entire core business, you might have different applications are involving, and each applications have their own methodology based on the nature of objectives. Okay. Accordingly, whatever the strategies that you have defined, the standards that has to be in line with the methodology of that particular application. Once that is standardized, and you'll have guidelines and methods that you have to build and make aware entire the workforce at the enterprise level. So that is the next stage. Okay. So this is the typical the approach that every enterprise will follow, but more or less they need to touch. These are the three components. One is enterprise level, what their approach, and strategy, what is their at enterprise level. Once they are clear on their objectives, once they are clear on strategy, you'll have to build your you have to strategize and build those standards. Then only the workforce from the top to bottom can understand what organization direction. Okay. So with that keep in mind, I have defined, whatever I have given the overview here. What is exactly the business driven objectives, and is it a revenue, the focused objectives, and define enterprise, the objectives. Okay, you are clear on your business, you are clear on your business direction, and your focused objectives. But exactly how you can define that objectives into a materialized side. So might be a you have certain objectives on the accessibility side or security side or performance side that you have to be clear at enterprise level. Not only you should be in a position to strategize clearly, those strategies are in line to the methods, the methodologies that you are implementing, developing those products. that you have to be very clear on that one. So then only the next steps will be, you should be in a position to clearly, develop and publish those guidelines so that the workforce can understand your direction and your focus and your, business objectives, and that eventually will allow you to uh, meet your business objectives. At the same time, you should be in a position to, develop the tools and standards that will be adapted by the entire workforce. So this is the overall, the approach at enterprise side. So even for, accessibility also, you will have this kind of a direction. So enterprise has to, define your uh, direction, your strategy, and your methodology, and the required tools to meet that particular objectives. Okay, it's not in a random, hey, you can take that one. It's a direction coming from the enterprise side. Okay, so this is what I call it as a, top down approach. Okay, so just have an idea how the each enterprise will work for any business objectives side. Okay, so same thing I have explained in the, the previous, the sessions specific to the uh, web applications. So moving forward, so here, WCAG, that is Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. I have given you overview on my previous session. So the guidelines I have given, the principles I have given, and the success criteria I have given. They're all the same. Success criteria is same. Principle is same. There is no change at all. Only the guidelines are different because the platform is different. You are accessing on the mobile side, you're not accessing the desktop web. So specific to that one, they have certain techniques. Those techniques are mapped to the certain the categories of sufficient, advisory, and failure. Okay, let's first talk about the techniques. So and then how the techniques are mapped to the principles. Here the perceivable means how the application is receivable to the end user. Okay, so end user means not normal, including disabled users as well. So screen size and zoom, and when the application is zoom and magnified, how, and how the contrast and how the colors will be accessed receivable to the users. Okay, that will be covered part of this perceivable, um, the principle. And these three techniques are categorized under these three categories: sufficient, advisory, and failure. Sufficient means, hey, these are the certain category. You know, these particular techniques should satisfy this application for these users. That kind of a description that they have defined. And then advisory, okay, you have certain things. If you have these things, that will be, useful to the user, users, which is a kind of, the professional quality. Okay, so and then failure, what they have defined is, okay, any technique, suppose screen size is failed to meet the certain standards, what is the impact on the particular application, and how that will be, impacted to the business of that particular application. So that guidelines they have given in the WCAG side. So predominantly these three techniques fall under these three categories. And when coming to the operable, so operable means how your application can be operated. Okay, so these are the techniques. Again, these techniques are categorized under these three things: sufficient, advisory, and failure. So in the operable side, you will see the keyboard controls, touch target size, and touch screen gestures, device manipulations, and placing controls to easy access. That means controls should not be overlapped. There should be a decent amount of size, space between the two controls. Okay, there is a certain standards. Okay, and touch target size and spacing also. Okay, if you are overlapping, but operating on that particular control, it will be difficult for the disabled persons. Okay, there are certain standards that we need to follow. And the third principle is understandable how your content embedded on the screen is understandable. So first one is, so the screen orientation. If you are doing the screen orientation, your content is rendered appropriately. Constant layout, your application layout should be very constant. It should not be, inconsistent, or it should not be painful to the disabled persons. And the position and grouping the elements of same action and indication to the actionable elements. Okay, these two are critical because for disabled users. Okay, so suppose kind of a person who have some kind of disable on the vision side, so for those users, it should be clear. Okay, one particular, if your button are focusing by using the keyboard, that should be very clear, so that the person can understand. Okay, this is clickable. Okay, so that kind of accessible you should provide. Okay, and then again, the fourth principle is a robust. The robust is, as I said earlier in my sessions, it should be compatible to the upcoming the advancements, and as well as available digital mm, equipments. So, for example, virtual keyboard or easy methods to data entry. Suppose you are attaching one keyboard, and then that should be, your app should compatible for that one. Okay, various platforms the support also. You have access to technology, so you do not have only laptop or mobile, but you'll have other access to technologies as well. Okay, so in order to operate your applications, so those it should be a compatible. Okay, by default all technologies are providing now, but in case not meeting, then it is a compliance issue. Okay, so this is the WCAG guidelines. We should have an idea, okay, while we are working on the mobile apps or mobile web applications. Okay, one is how you are going to operate it, how easily it is accessible, and the content that you are giving, whether it is clear or not, and the navigation, the clear or not. These things, these are the common things that we need to take care while we are working on mobile apps. Okay, so moving forward, mobile platforms. When we are talking about mobile means, there are various ways based on the need. I'll explain more here. One is standalone. For example, suppose you are personal, or earlier you have not started in your assignment. It's a very short project, very short duration, and you do not, you have a budget constraints, and you are not, your customer is not ready to spend anything on it. So with the minimal effort, how we can, do a minimal checks on the accessibility side. Okay, so one thing is, if you have a test device, and there are the native tools from the Android and iOS side. Okay, so there is an application called Talkback, so that is specific to the Android. So that will give reading of your app. I'll show you quickly on the emulator site. So you can launch that application and start reading the your app. Okay, so that kind of application, that is the native application providing by the Android. App scanner, they also provided the Google accessibility scanner. That means it will scans the application, and it will give the results, so whether it is meeting the accessibility standards or not. That means it is a static analysis of that particular screen. Okay, like in the web applications, if you remember, we have installed certain extensions, and what it does, it has analyzed and given the results like that. It will analyze and give the results this one. Okay, And then next from the iOS side, we have voice for application. So facilitate to read app elements. And then they're also providing the app scanner, that is accessibility inspector. Okay. So, but in this one iOS side, you have to have Mac system and you need to configure the Xcode, and then you need to launch this accessibility inspector. Then only you can able to, scan that app. This is a little bit, the complicate, but whoever is familiar with the iOS application side, and they can easily do the things. This is purely on the standalone. Okay, this is the basically, if you do not have anything, but we want to do basic checks, you can take the help of emulators or simulators. No, because nowadays the latest emulators are having the flexibility to the launch the talkback and this Google accessibility scanner also. Okay, in my future sessions I'm going to give detailed the sessions on these applications. Okay, for now only I'm just giving you a overview on these applications, so how we can take the advantage. Okay, the next part is the mobile cloud platforms. Okay, I'm going to give overview on in the coming slide on the mobile platforms. But here, how the mobile platform will look like. Suppose enterprise customers, okay, they have the testing teams, development teams are spread across geographical locations, and their solutions have to be accessed by the all the team, and 24 by 7 the scripts have to be run unattended. you know so this kind of platform is be able to achieve the enterprise objectives. Okay, how the platform is look like. Okay, you have in-house devices mounted on the cloud. It is integrated with the platform, and it's a kind of an engine. Further, it is integrated with the frameworks and solutions and the products. These frameworks might be open source frameworks or their in-house frameworks, and the products means kind of solutions uh, for performing a kind of location-based testing or performance-based testing, kind of those kind of the products provided by the each the vendor. Okay, based on their architecture. Okay, overall this is based on the SaaS platform, that is software as a service. That means pay as you go. Okay, you have 1,000 hours, so many devices, okay, this much. Or else you have so many devices, this much. So many hours, this much. So many users, this much. Like that, different pricing strategies are there. This is useful when your testing teams are spread across and the customer want 24 by 7 testing and automation in place. In such case, this is viable. These, how this is fit to the needs of the accessibility mobile app and web accessibility needs. Here, accessibility analyzer, each vendor, every vendor is have their own architecture to perform accessibility, and they are taking the advantage leverage of existing the tools as well. Okay, accessibility scanner and talkback and this one voice for iOS platforms. Okay, so these are all manual. Okay, cannot be automated. So they are accessing in their platform, and they are customizing and giving more user friendly to the end user to operate those applications. Okay, that is one thing, because these applications have its own advantage, because these are all openly available. That's why they are using these applications integrating with their cloud solutions. That is one thing. Okay, and the next one is, this is the core important. Last time also I have explained. So DQ systems, which provides the AXDAP tools library. So in the mobile also they have their own libraries they have developed integrated with iOS, XUS test, and Android UI Automator and Espresso, and eventually those are all integrated with the appium libraries as well. How we can accessing the plugins? So in the mode of they have developed the customized the plugins, and which are commercial based, and those plugins are integrated with the cloud solutions, and it is giving the flexibility to the existing automation suite can be integrated with this library and perform the accessibility scanner, okay, of the particular application or web application. Okay, so based on my analysis, most of the vendors are integrated with this library. Okay, so this is the some part is open source. Those open source is being used by the cloud platforms, and then they are applying their own methodologies and then coming with the solutions. But this acts as its own. This is the prime for all cloud solutions for the automation side. Okay, I'm going to give an upcoming slide as well. That is about the mobile. Okay, mobile. So basically, if you are in the mobile corporate assignments, definitely you will have access to this cloud platform, and then you can play. Okay, so that is one thing. The third one is, yeah, so far, if it is a mobile, we are talking about the mobile cloud solutions. Okay, there are some commercial tools, for example, Testim or Tricentex Tosca or UFT or Catalan. They have their inbuilt the solutions as well, but based on my analysis, they have not exposed what kind of solutions they are using the um, accessibility the testing, but definitely they have solutions. And what their architecture is like, they have a tool, and also they have in-house. Nowadays all the customer commercial tools also supporting to the selenium and appium as well. They are using, since they are, those are all open source, and they're able to integrate those frameworks as well. At the same time, they have their own device cloud that is integrated with their tools, and those tools also, few of the tools also integrated with the mobile platforms as well. It depends. Mm, because each customer have their own partnership, right? So to meet customer, enterprise customers needs, so they have partnership with mobile cloud solutions as well. When these tools started, they do not have this kind of device forms. Slowly they have emerged, and built up their own infrastructure and able to connect device forms. But when coming to the our of the need, so they have their own inbuilt solutions. Okay, so to perform the accessibility testing side. Okay, these are the three things that applicable, more or less, if you take a number of the vendors are available commercial side, but falling under this one. But there are plenty open source, but those are not the flexible to the name, but it needs more evaluation and see how best that can be the fit to the needs. But overall, my analysis, XDev tools will create the robust automation solution platforms, because the existing scripts, suppose if you have a appium scripts are available, yes, it has plugin, or recently they have released the plugin, commercial plugin, the appium side, so which is powered by the X dev tools, and definitely it will have flexibility to conduct the automation, but it needs so who are having the that kind of infrastructure in your assignments, definitely explore it, and it is going to be an add value. Okay, on top of these manual accessibility analyzers. Okay, moving forward. Okay, so this approach that I have explained in the previous session as well. In this session also, I'm going to give a review initial. Okay, Suppose if it is the initial stage that you have started, so better you have to start with the manual tools. Suppose if your customer is having the cloud solutions, better start these accessibility scanners, screen readers, and contrast analyzers. Okay, that is good start. And when coming to the your testing in progress and you are in the in sprint testing, in such cases, suppose you have a decent amount of the test suite for that particular application, and you are good to start. Suppose you have a your cloud solutions integrating, have integration with the Axe Dev tools, and definitely you can take leverage of the particular feature, and then you can explore, and then you can conduct a POC, and then you can start the automation, and you can build certain scripts which can be used across your further cycles. Okay, that is one thing. And when coming to the suppose based on your goals and your app goals, you can take leverage of automation as well in case your cloud solutions support that acts dev tools, then only you can able to do it. Okay, that is one thing. And basically where exactly, suppose you have new features are released and you're conducting the regression on those features, then definitely you can leverage automation, and you can conduct. And then finally, suppose you have a automation suite is available, and everything is available, and you have experience on the automation side, robust automation is available. Based on your need, you may use it for pre-pod or acceptance test cycles as well. This is the optional, okay, to take the leverage of the automation. But basically these two phases, so one is your in sprint and second one is your regression phases, you can take the leverage of the automation, provided if we have Axe dev tools are integrated um, into your mobile cloud solutions. And I have not provided here how much percentage accessibility issues here covered. Okay, now because apps accessible automation is recently started, it is under still evaluation, and definitely if you have access, you can monitor and see the benefits. Okay, so this is about the approach or methodology. It's a generic. Basically, this is the starting phase, and this is the in sprint phase, and this is the regression. This is the final ever report testing. Okay, so that's about the approach that I have envisioned over here. Moving forward, yeah, a quick overview on the evaluations, and in the previous session also, web also I have given. But the more or less, these categories are same. One is you should have a scanning of your app screens. That is about the controls analysis. One is readability, where we are using the screen readers. Okay, and then third one is the interact and navigation. While we are going through these screen readers, you will have to operate the left, right, and the down arrows, how it is being happening. Okay, from the in the app side, left to right, and the top to bottom, it should go. Okay, that sequence it should follow. Okay, and then again, if you see app scanning, what complies to the four principles. Okay, your scanner will definitely identify the compliance issues specific to the four principles. Okay, and then success criteria. See, you have single A, double A, triple A. Single A means must, and double A means should, and triple A means so it's advisory. Okay, those successful criteria you should meet. What are the entities that we are covering? One is single page and transactional flow. Suppose you have a order flow, you need to have a around 5 to 6 screens are there in your order flow that you need to cover. And then specific components. Suppose in our agile, we are implementing these certain features, right? So the component level we are implementing those components that have to be analyzed. And then again, model dialogue. So suppose you are clicking on a particular button, one dialogue is coming, you should not forget that dialogue to be evaluated. You should evaluate that one. Okay, so that is. and then operability analysis. So here it should meet the readability standards. You'll come to know the voice. I'll show you talk back shortly, and focus the standards when you are by key. If you're navigating to the particular control, you should highlight navigation standards and interactive standards. That one. So there are certain standards so visible to the end users. Okay, and what we're going to cover out of this one. So on key controls read, navigation sequence focused on specific multi-layered controls and modal dialogues evaluation. So these are the things that we have to ensure while we are performing the activities around this readability and interaction navigation side. So this is about the quick overview on the the evaluation. So whatever the methodologies that you have worked on web application, similarly you need to implement. But when you are accessing the mobile app site, something we need to keep it in your mind. So how that app, the particular is behaving. Okay. So if anything is not operating totally, disable, you can directly access, raise the accessible issue. Okay. So that's about the evaluation. So this is the final, core of this particular session today. That is about the mobile cloud solutions. Basically, for the public users, they are giving the 14 days, and then certain duration they are giving those devices to play with their new features or to understand their platform. Okay, but that is only limited only. But if you are in one particular the assignment, you are in the mobile apps testing site, and definitely you will have accessible to any of these cloud solutions. So I have not given the head spin also. That is also one of the prime vendor in the mobile platform. But in any of their blog, they have not mentioned about the accessibility. That's I have not mentioned. But these are the four the platforms they have mentioned about the accessibility, and also they have mentioned about their integration with the Axe DevTools for automation. DQ is the system. DQ Systems is the organization vendor provided these Axe DevTools, and I would say this is the vendor who started accessibility testing of the applications apart from the ARC, Toolkit, TPGI, and Web um, mm, vendors. Okay, so this has its own infrastructure and own accessibility analyzers, own extensions, own libraries. These libraries, one is they recently released the plugin for the appium. Appium has its own, released from 2.0 onwards the plugins capability integration. So recently, in the month of 3 months back, they have released the one on the plugin which is accessible to compatible to the XUI test and UI automator. So whatever the scripts you have, it is compatible and it does the accessible evaluations. Okay. So now this part is the uh, Capo mobile cloud platforms. They have their own manual analyzers. So I have gone through all these sites and understand they have integrated Android and iOS accessibility analyzers and scanners and make their platform user friendly to the users to conduct the scanning and analyzing the app screens. In addition to bring the automation capability, they have taken the accessibility dev tools integration and provided their own features. That's why I have kept this as a manual plus automation. And Axe DevTools have its own, they have their own infrastructure, they have their own tool capability. At the same time, whatever the libraries they have released to the open market, those methods those libraries being used by these platforms and bring their solutions to power up the accessibility evaluation. Okay, so that's the uh, automation behind mobile app and mobile web. When coming to the screen readers, this is not automation, this is fully manual only, and talkback and voice over for reading the screens. Okay, so this is the mobile cloud solutions overview. If you are in the any kind of corporate assignments, definitely they have mobile cloud solutions, and you can go ahead and explore. And here again, I'm not making any comparison between these vendors. Okay, that is a different story. And if you are following any of the your customer is following one solution, and definitely they have their own features to test mobile applications, and at the same time they have actual integration, and they have talkback and voice for integration. Okay, so that's about the web, mobile web and app. The tools for screener, app scanners and readers and automation. And definitely in future, I'll try to find out the commercial license on the queue and explore, and we'll come up with um, more sessions on XDev tools. And at the same time, this is the one where it is introducing the AI powered solutions, and I'm still under analysis of those AI powered solutions. And definitely in future, I'm going to cover part of my trends objectives and AI assistant site as well. Okay, so let me switch over to the talkback from the um, Android emulator site, so that you will have an idea what I have talked about so far. So I have an emulator already launched over here. So if you have mm, if you don't know about anything about Android emulator, I have a session. You can go to my channel and find out how to set up Android emulator and how to access. Okay. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to the settings, and you can go to the accessibility, and you will find talkback. Okay, and I'm enabling over here. Okay, allow talkback to have full control of your device. Allow. Okay, see here.
Talkback on. Talkback. Navigate up. Button.
So
Double
you're
tap
seeing
to
the
activate.
voice of the this particular application, right? So talkback on now. Okay, what I'm doing is double click. You need to do a double click so that it will go to the next control. Double click or enter.
Talkback shortcut. Off. In settings. Talkback shortcut. Off.
So I'm doing the up and down
Talkback short settings.
the settings.
Press Alt plus Enter to activate.
This one.
Talkback shortcut. Off. Talkback shortcut. Off. Navigate up. Button.
So I'm going to the application.
Actions of home. Actions of home. Home settings. Recent apps. API demos. 9 of
Here.
10.
Recent
In
apps
list.
it is going.
10 items. Press Alt plus Enter to activate. Actions available. Settings. 10 of screenshot. Settings. 10 of 10. Screenshot. Button. Out of list. Saving screenshot.
And
Home.
here taking the
Screenshot
screenshot.
preview. Button. Press Alt plus
Then
Enter to activate.
this one.
Settings. 10 of 10. In list.
And
10
side buttons
items.
I'm operating.
Recent apps. Screenshot preview. Button. Out. Select. Button.
A bit difficult when you're
Settings.
operating the
API
cloud.
demos. 9 of 10. Double tap to activate. Actions available. Swipe up. Press Alt plus Enter to activate. Navigate up. Button. Double tap to activate.
So I'm closing, and again I'm
Home.
this one.
Settings. Select. Button. Out of list. Settings. 10 of 10. In list. 10 items. Close.
closing.
Button. Out of list. Settings. Press Alt. Screenshot. Button. Select. Button. Settings. 10 of close. Button. Out of list. Settings. Screen. Select. Button. Settings. 10 of 10. Close. But. Top back. Navigate up. Button. Navigate up. Button. Double tap to act. Use talkback. Talkback
I'm doing
shortcut.
it tab.
Off. Off.
Tab reading and
Settings. Use talkback. Talkback shortcut. Off. Settings. Use talkback. On. Switch. Press Alt plus Enter to act. Talkback. Settings.
So like this, we need
Use
to go to the
talkback.
app and
On.
we need to
Switch.
access
Press
this
Alt plus
application.
Enter to act. Navigate up. Button. Out of list. Cancel. Button. Stop talkback.
Top,
Cancel. Stop. Button.
I'm talking this.
Press Alt plus talkback off.
So like this, you need to activate and you need to go to the application, and then you can read your application accordingly. Okay. So it's better, if you have a test device in hand and you can easily do a navigation of application. But yeah, that's about the talk back. Okay. Like this, in iOS we have a voice over, so you need to enable that one, and you can able to voice over the application, navigate the screens like that. Okay. So this is the short story about the mobile app and web accessible. And if you anywhere you're accessible to the any cloud solutions, and you have valid license in your corporate assignments, go to that one and explore and get used to accessibility of the mobile app and web. Yeah, recently this app and web is the started, and getting evolution and getting the new advancements, and especially in the automation side, as well as the manual screen readers and app uh, um, screen analyzers. Okay. So we have extensive experience and extensive um, uh, knowledge on the web accessibility side, but mobile app recently started, solutions are getting advanced, and also the WCAG powered solutions in future specific to the this particular area. Okay, so definitely I'm going to cover few the sessions, and that will be give the overview on the new advancements on the apps accessibility side. Okay. um, so with this I'm concluding this topic today, and if you like it, and just give your response, and also you can spread the word. Okay. Thanks for watching this session, and so I'll catch you in the next session. And in my next, the sessions, in the upcoming, 2 or 3 sessions, I'm going to cover, AI assistants specific to the various activities which are relevant to our field. Okay. Thanks for watching this session. Thanks for connecting with me. Thank you. Bye.